Hey, good afternoon, guys. I really appreciate having a few minutes this afternoon. My name's Todd Yerkes. I'm the local district manager for Continental Truck Tires. I'm based out of St. George, but I kind of cover the mountain states out west here. So I want to bring you through a scenario. It is the first nice day in spring. The ground's finally unthawed, and you're finally able to dig into that project that you and your wife have been talking about all winter long. You made your run to Home Depot, you got your supplies, now it's time to get the wheelbarrow out, but you haven't used it since the fall. And you know it's a little bit flat, but it's okay, you want to dig in. So you start your project, and you start shoveling, you start loading the wheelbarrow, and then you start rolling it, and you notice it's just not very stable. You notice that you have to put a lot more work into moving it. And finally, you swallow your pride, you dig out the old bike pump, you put the air in it, and it makes a world difference. This is something we all know. We all know intuitively from being bike owners, wheelbarrow owners, owners of passenger vehicles, the importance of proper air inflation. Today I'm going to talk a couple minutes about what we as an industry know and don't do, which is proper air inflation. I'm going to spend a minute or two talking about the knowledge and doing gap, and then talking about the latest technological automotive convergence to have digital solutions be able to address this industry-wide problem. So let's talk first about this problem that we have in the trucking industry. I've been in the industry since 1996, and from day one we were talking about rolling resistance, fuel economy, and air pressure. And now I've been with Continental for almost 10 years. And in that time, our field sales team has a fleet inspection tool that allows us to gather tons and tons of tire data by individual wheel position. And as a collective group, we have over 3 million data points. And the thing that's been consistent over the time that our company's done this is that tires are underinflated. And underinflated is defined by 10% less than what the manufacturer's recommendation is. And we found, looking through our database, that about 30% of steers and about 40% of drives are underinflated. Now, typically, for every 5 pounds that you're underinflated, you lose 1% in fuel economy. So if we're looking about this, an average fleet in terms of low-hanging fruit is going to be able to pick up anywhere between 800 and maybe 1,500 just in fuel savings. But fuel savings is not it. There's also improved tire wear and less downtime. Our industry has done study after study, and we show that about 90% of all road failures come as a result of underinflation. If you want to increase uptime, you address your tire pressures. But this gets us back to what I talked briefly about, is this gap between what we know and what we do. So for me, I love to run. I consider myself an athlete. I like the training component. And I know I need to eat better, but I simply don't. There's a gap between what I know I need to do and what I'm actually doing. As a salesperson, I preach to my team the importance of prospecting. You have to always be prospecting and filling that top of that sales funnel, but generally, my team could improve in this area because prospecting is such a vital lifeblood of the sales operation. So, we know what we need to do, we're not doing it. We now have some technology that enables us to automatically capture this information on our tire pressures. And what it is, it's a little sensor that goes inside of the tire, and this sensor is going to communicate through a CCU, throw that information up to the cloud, and then from the cloud we have a whole suite of fleet solutions to disseminate this information to the shop, to operations, to the owner, to various people within the organization. Now they have the information to make some operational changes. So I talked about the knowledge gap between knowledge and doing, and we have this technology. I want to use another quick personal example. So right now, I am involved in a 60-day fitness challenge with 5 of my running buddies. And we really stepped to the plate, and we all put in $100. And if we hit our goals that we have at 60 days, we keep that investment of $100. If we don't, our failure is split amongst the other competitors in this fitness challenge. My proposal to you as leaders in this industry and as owners of trucking companies is that when you make a financial investment, when you make a commitment, you are sending a message. You're sending a message to your managers, to your drivers, to your shop that air pressure is important. And I can tell you that this investment that I'm asking for is a lot less than what the savings you're going to see on the other end. We talked about anywhere from about $1,000 in fuel. There's going to be increased tire life. There's going to be more uptime. And for you old enough in this room, you might remember this classic 1970s commercial with Fram oil filters. There's an old guy rebuilding an engine, talking about how much time and blah, blah, blah. And the shop owner holds up the Fram oil filter and says, "You can pay me now or pay me later." My argument and my challenge to you is to grab my card, and invite us to make a full presentation on our suite of solutions for digital solutions, because I can guarantee you that paying a little now is going to save you a lot later.